Welcome to Mathematics 7, first quarter, lesson 6, which is about rational numbers. And I am your today's teacher, Mr. J.R.S. Ligura. Express rational numbers from decimal form to fraction form. Previously, you learned how to convert rational numbers from fraction form to decimal form. Today, we are going to discuss how to express rational numbers from decimal form to fraction form. But before we proceed, let us first review the place value of the numbers at the right side of the decimal point. For instance, we have the decimal 0.12345. We know that a place value for the numbers at the right of the decimal point starts from the number after the decimal point, that is, tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and so on. Tenths means 1 over 10, hundreds for 1 over 100, thousands for 1 over 1,000, 10,000s for 1 over 10,000s, 100,000s for 1 over 100,000s. We are now ready to express rational numbers from decimal form to fraction form. Let's start with 0.5. To convert 0.5 to fraction form, we need to identify the last digit from the left, and that is 5. Identify its place value, that is tenths. And we know that tenths means 1 over 10. Now, copy all the digits at the right side of the decimal point, which is 5. Multiply it by 1 over 10. In multiplying fractions, we multiply numerator by the numerator and denominator by the denominator. We know that the denominator of 5 is 1. 5 times 1 is equal to 5, and 1 times 10 is equal to 10. 5 over 10 is actually an equivalent fraction of 0.5. However, it is not yet in simplest form. So to find its simplest form, we need to identify the greatest common factor of 5 and 10. And their greatest common factor is 5. Divide both numerator and denominator by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. So the answer is 1/2. This means that the equivalent fraction of 0.5 is 1/2. Or simply identify the last digit from the left, which is 5. Identify its place value, which is tenths. Then copy all the digits at the right side of the decimal point, which is 5. Then divide it by 10, since the place value of 5 is tenths. You can now check if your fraction is in simplest form. Since 5 over 10 is not yet in simplest form, you can now look for the greatest common factor of 5 and 10. And their greatest common factor is 5, so divide both numerator and denominator by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. We can now say that the equivalent fraction of 0.5 is 1/2. Let's try another example. Let's convert 0.48 to fraction form. To convert, identify first the last digit from the left, and that is 8. Identify its place value. The place value of 8 is hundreds. Next, copy all the digits at the right side of the decimal point, and that is 48. Divide it by 100, since the place value of 8 is hundreds. Now, check if your fraction is in lowest terms. 48 over 100 is not yet in simplest form. To change it to simplest form, look for the greatest common factor of 48 and 100. The greatest common factor of 48 and 100 is 4. So divide both numerator and denominator by 4. 48 divided by 4 is 12, and 100 divided by 4 is 25. This means that the equivalent fraction of 0.48 is 12 over 25. Let's try another example. Let's express 2.175 to fraction form. This example is slightly different from the previous example because of the whole number 2. So to change it to fraction form, first identify the last digit, which is 5. Identify its place value, which is thousands. Next, copy all the digits at the left side of the decimal point, which is 2. Also copy all the digits at the right side of the decimal point, which is 175. Then divide it by 1000 because the place value of the last digit is thousands. Now, focus your attention to the fractional part. Check if it is in simplest form. Since 175 over 1000 is not yet in simplest form, then look for its greatest common factor, which is 25. Divide both numerator and denominator by 25. But before writing the quotient, don't forget to copy the whole number, which is 2. 175 divided by 25 is 7. 1000 divided by 25 is 40. We have now the equivalent mixed fraction of 2.175, which is 2 and 7 over 40. However, in some instances, we are asked to change it to improper fraction. So let's change 2 and 7 over 40 to improper fraction. To do that, we have to multiply the denominator by the whole number, that is 40 times 2 equals 80. Next, add the answer to the numerator, which is 7, that is 87. Write the answer, then copy the denominator of your mixed fraction, which is 40. So the equivalent improper fraction now of 2.175 is 87 over 40. Our answers now are 2, 7 over 40, or 87 over 40. Now, I want you to express the following decimals to fraction form. Please pause the video and you are given 15 minutes to finish the task. It is okay to ask the help from anyone around. Just make sure you know how to do it. Let us now answer the task. Let us now express 0.104 in fraction form. To do that, identify the last digit, which is 4. Identify its place value, which is thousands. Next, copy all the digits at the right side of the decimal point, which is 104 divided by 1000, since the place value of the last digit is thousands. Next, check if it is in simplest form. Since we can divide both numerator and denominator by 8 without remainder, then it is not yet in simplest form. So divide it by 8, both numerator and denominator. So 104 divided by 8 is 13, and 1000 divided by 8 is 125. Thus, the equivalent fraction of 0.104 is 13 over 125. Let us now answer the second problem. Let us express 0.23 in fraction form. To do that, let us first identify the place value of the last number, which is 3. So the place value of 3 is hundreds. Now, copy all the digits at the right side of the decimal point, which is 23. Divide it by 100 since the place value of the last digit is hundreds. This time, you are going to identify if it's in simplest form. As you can see, there is no number that you can divide 23 and 100 without remainder. Thus, 23 over 100 is already in simplest form. Therefore, 0.23 is 23 over 100 in fraction form. Let us now express 12.12 to fraction form. To do that, let us first identify the last digit and its place value. The last digit is 2 and its place value is hundreds. Next, we copy all the digits at the left side of the decimal point, and that is 12. Also copy all the digits at the right side of the decimal point, which is also 12. Divide it by 100 since the place value of the last digit is hundreds. Next, focus your attention to the fractional part. Check if it is in simplest form. Since there are still numbers that you can divide 12 and 100 without remainder, then 12 over 100 is not yet in simplest form. To change it to simplest form, look for the greatest common factor. And the greatest common factor of 12 and 100 is 4. So divide both numerator and denominator by 4. But before writing the quotient, don't forget to copy the whole number, which is 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 100 divided by 4 is 25. 12 and 3 over 25 is now the mixed fraction form of 12.12. However, in some instances, we're asked to change this into improper fraction. So let's change it to improper fraction. To change it to improper fraction, first, you multiply the denominator by the whole number. That is 25 times 12 equals 300. Then, add the answer to the numerator. 300 plus 3 equals 303. Copy the answer divided by the denominator of the mixed fraction, which is 25. So 303 over 25 is the improper fraction form of 12.12. Our answers now are 12 and 3 over 25, or 303 over 25. It's now your turn. Express the following decimals to fraction form. If the answer is a mixed fraction, write your answer in both mixed and improper fraction. This time, you have to work independently. Please pause the video and use your 15 minutes to finish the task. Let us now answer the given problem. For number 1, the answer is 117 over 500. For number 2, that is 37 over 100. And for number 3, we have 109 tenths or 1009 over 10. In this video, you learned how to express rational numbers from decimal form to fraction form. So till next time, thank you for watching and keep on learning.